Tell me something wonderful about turning 60, approaching 60.
Approaching 60 is, it's probably one of the most peaceful times of my life right now. Just calmness, I'm not in any hurry. I want things to change or I want to do things different, but it's like I'm not in a hurry to do them. I can think through it. I feel like more like a pause. And that's new for me because usually I'm just like, so yeah.
Does the number 60 scare you at all? Does it feel old?
It feels like I'm hitting another destiny or destination. I guess that's the word. It's been kind of scary. The decades are always kind of, like the 39 was kind of weird, 49 was kind of weird. Always usually a lot of really important things happen, that like make me ready to go forward in it. I'm lucky enough to be the youngest of my siblings, and most of my friends are a little bit older, and so it's like I'm right behind them. I'm still younger than them, but I'm right behind them. So it's like, well, they're 60 and they look great, or so I'm not afraid of it. It's just another landmark of life.
How do you plan on celebrating 60?
I don't know yet. Possibly might fly into Colorado. I have a lot of good friends there too. I don't know. I haven't planned that yet.
Okay. Can you tell me how your hopes, dreams, and expectations of life have changed over the decades?
Phenomenally. I thought I'd be the happily ever after, content. Things aren't at all as I planned, which is probably a good plan that I had. I like where my life's at right now. I think it's, the journey of my life has been very good, and that's I think where the peacefulness comes in now from just the age I'm at, and my children are grown and almost all on their own, and it's a really good reflection time, and yet my health's good. I'm active. I definitely feel connected with community, and so and I'm more free to travel, and so like I'm like in a lot of ways I'm more myself of who I was when I was younger. Right now, like now I feel I'm having my second teens.
Do you feel more you now than you felt maybe when you were 20, 25?
I definitely feel more me. Definitely the thing, all my likes, loves, hopes. Things that I can explore anything I want to. And before then, I was more like the world was like, But now I know like there's so much out there that I can still do or want to do or haven't tried or So yeah, there's a lot. The world's more open to me now.
Okay. Anything that you feel like you want to accomplish? Speaking of things, more opportunities, more things to do. Do you feel like you have any more things to achieve, goals, that kind of a thing?
I'm kind of looking forward to retirement, and so and what that might bring, and so I'm really looking at where do I want to live? Where does this body, want to either live my last years out or, or at least hang out for a few more years. So I'm very interested in like getting a farmhouse or some property where I can put up a tiny house because I'm starting to read about those and be interested in like living in small square footages, and then, but everything's like a balance right now. It's like if I do this, then I can't do that. Like if I, what I mean? It's like everything's like that right now. So it's like it's not falling into place, and that's why I'm not pushing things. I'm not like, but I'm reading up on them. I'm researching them. So like I think I'm in the process of creating the dream. The next dream.
I like that. The next dream. That's kind of cool. Let's go back to the word retirement. Retirement obviously means different things to different people, and what I'm hearing you say is retirement is something like travel for you. Does the word retirement have a different connotation than it did when you were younger? Do you feel like it means something different now than like when you're younger?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess my only example of a retirement would be when my parents retired and what that meant to them, and I don't see myself in the same situation of them at all. In terms of not having my husband, wife, or whatever with me. And not being as financial stable as they were. So, just to create that sense of where I can afford what I'm doing and still do what I want to do, So it's totally a different picture. I had no idea what it would look like. I wanted to see my grandchildren be rocking on the country porch and see my grandkids, but, no one's having children and I'm getting older, and I don't want to push that on them either. So, yeah, it's a different picture.
Are you, how far are you away from retirement? When can you retire?
I honestly don't know. I'm going to work as long as I physically can. It's getting really hard physically to keep doing what I'm doing. But I've looked into some other things too, and I've researched like working with hospice and things I can do. I can be a caregiver. I've done that before too. So, it's kind of going to depend on how much more physical work I can do with this body, And yet it's good for me because I don't like to work out. So as long as I keep working, I'm keeping strong,
How would you say your personal relationships have changed over the years?
I suppose mostly because lately, the last 2 years, I've been kind of going through my cocooning time. So I'm not as like in people's lives, or I'm not as active with people. I've definitely, in a sense, isolated myself. And yet, I feel the love, but I just like it. It's like I don't have the everydayness of worrying about them. I notice that when I'm with people, how I start to like think about them and think, oh, this would be nice to help them with that. It's like I've stopped a lot of my old patterns of either caretaking or trying to make their life better when, I'm happy just to be home and not have other people's problems in my world anymore. So that's changed a lot because I think I was really one of those, extroverts where I just shined and I would flood my energy and love with all over. And now I'm like, I'm more gentle and calm, and I'm keeping it in more.
Is that an age-related thing, do you think, or is that just a you thing?
It's probably an age-related thing, but it's the peacefulness that I feel. Again, I don't have other people's problems. Shuffling at my mind, or trying to help them figure it out, or I don't know. I think it's just where I'm at thing for sure. It might be an age thing as well,
But don't you miss the love and support of having lots of relationships? Well, I shouldn't say lots, but some relationships, meaningful relationships in your life?
I feel I still have them. I've traveled, and I've lived like Washington State, Hawaii, Ireland. I feel like all those places, I go back and I have loved ones there, and I still keep in touch with them. It's not like I'm far away. Like every year I go back to Colorado and I hang out with my best friends, and it's not like I'm not loved or I'm not loving. I feel like I have connection, and it's deep.
Okay.
Did I answer that?
Yeah. You have enough love. You don't need.
Yeah, I don't need more. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's
No, that's
nice. I'm in good balance with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you think your role as a mother has changed over the years with your children? Like when they,
Right.
kids to now?
That's an amazing thing because I never thought of myself not being a mother, and right now I don't feel like I'm playing the mother role because my daughter's the last, she's 23 and she's going to be moving to Colorado. I don't know. It's like I'm less active in their lives, and yet they know I'm there. It's kind of like how my parents stepped back, or I stepped out. It's like I'm letting them step out and find themselves. My son's doing really well. I feel really comfortable with his life. Kayla needs to get settled. I think Colorado will be really good for her. So kind of like the worries that parents have is lessening, and I think that brings me the freedom back to myself again after it feels like 30 years. And that's a long time to, it's actually longer than that, but
Yeah.
it's a long time to have to, like that's the whole thing, having to think about people and worry about people. Like children, you're always like, not just what they're up to, but emotionally, what's going on, and, if, financially, they're going to, be able to get a food in their bellies, and, I don't worry about that anymore, and it's really good.
Some people have said that reaching this milestone is kind of a wake-up call to do more, live more life. The new thing, the bucket list kind of a thing. How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, that's, to me, right on. I mean, I wouldn't even have thought of it that way, but it's like, with my girlfriend passed St. Patty's Day. She was 6 months younger than me. So it's like, my dad's quote that I love was, you know, you only have a one-way ticket here. You know, so it's like that really hits home. It's like, I don't know when's the last time I'm going to see these people. You know, I don't know. So it's like every moment that I'm with them, you know, I want to make sure they feel my gratitude towards our relationship and know that they're loved by me and thank you for what they've done. And it's like, it's more like I do live a little bit more, hopefully in the moment, and hopefully more, you know, open to like, because I just feel like we're all here and gone. We're all flowing on a river, and we're either, you know, some people get off before the other ones, you know, and some people go faster and some people go slower, you know, so it's the river of life.
Sounds like your bucket list is more spiritual than physical.
I'm going to cut just
Yeah.
for a second. Sorry, I know. Okay.
I can turn the fan on in the bedroom.
We'll
No.
hear it. Yeah.
You'll hear
You'll
that.
still
Yeah,
hear,
yeah.
this picks up like a pin
Everything.
drop.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to leave these windows open and live with the chimes, but
Well, the chimes are nice.
Yeah,
There's
huh?
a little chime here and there, or no?
we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah.
Okay, are you good? Ready?
Yep.
Back to the bucket list. It seems like your bucket list is more spiritual than physical. A lot of people's bucket lists involve, you know, jumping out of airplanes and climbing Mount Everest. So that's nice to hear that. You know, it's
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more, and that's been pretty much the journey of my life, though. Anyway, you know, it's more checking out. Before I was researching all the different religions, and by me doing that, I would jump into them fully and get a taste of it. Lately, Buddhism is speaking to me again. You know, different things things bring me peace or bring me the deep thought. I think of my father a lot, just because to me he was deeply spiritual. You know, like the way he left his body was by choice. You know, I mean, he could have had surgery or could have gone to hospice, so he chose hospice. So for me, that's kind of where I'm gearing myself up to too. Is like I want to be healthy enough to make the choice, kind of thing. You know, I want to be of right mind to do that. So I don't know. Not that I'm ready to go, but I'm peaceful. I'm peaceful enough. Like I've really lived a lot of lives this lifetime. You know, I've lived well. I've had so much goodness. You know, I'm content. Yeah, for me, it's like the only like physical thing or material thing that I want is I want a home. You know, I want somewhere to rest this body and be comfortable hanging out. You know, and not worrying about, you know, renting or whatever. You know, just I want to like be somewhere to have my base. So I think that's all that I'm looking for right now.
something to call your own, and yeah.
Right, just
Your
to have,
very own.
yeah, to have a base and be somewhere, and it doesn't matter where at this point. And I actually fell in love with a place in Fort Collins, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah, I went out to a wedding this summer, yeah, early summer, and I just was driving by. I kind of got lost a little bit, and I'm like, there it was, my heart. It was just, you know, a type of, you know, it was like, it could have been in Wisconsin, because I always thought, you know, yeah, I'll live in Wisconsin, because this is where I'm from, and, you know, so that was an interesting thing there.
Would you be brave enough to like just pick up and go do that?
Sorry. Just
Back to the Fort Collins question, the house you drove by accident. Would you be brave enough to ever pick up and move?
I do that all the time, so it's not really braveness, it's more like a passion. I've done that everywhere I've moved to. Like I was 15 I was 13 when I knew I wanted to move to Ireland. So when I graduated high school at 17, I just upped and left. You know, graduated early, left. So yeah, I mean, even moving back to Milwaukee was a month or two out of like, I gotta go. It's time to go. So, you know, just need to secure a few things and I can move. So, been like that a lot. Moved to Seattle, moved to Colorado, moved to Hawaii. You know, so it's part of my comfort zone.
Do you think passions are important to us as we get older?
Passions in terms of desires of things that you want to do. Passions.
As opposed to, what other kind of passions? No, I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, okay, love. Passion,
Oh, love for sure. What about love? Yeah, let's go right to love. Is love important as we get older?
Love is important. It's to me it's shifted. You know what my wanting of love is, or what I define love to be, is different. Again, a peacefulness comes in. It's not like I need to be loved and accepted by everyone I know. You know, it's just more like I love myself. And what does that entail? Well, I like doing things for people, or helping people, or talking to older people. You know, I like those things. So that's, I guess, would be a passion that I feel fulfilled when I'm able to do it. You know, when I can do what I love doing, I feel, you know, yeah, I don't know if that's passion or compassion, but it's kind of the same.
Could be a passion, sure.
Yeah.
Let's go back to love. What about romantic love? Is that important as we age?
I think the depth of connection is very important. Like, I think I worry about, like, who's going to take care of me when I'm old, you know, who's going to, all that, those worries. I'm not I think because I'm newly single, I'm not afraid of that. I really think I have enough people in my life that will take care of me if I need that, or hopefully, you know, I don't know, I really try lately, as my belief is to try to, well, let's not even get try out of there, is to be in the moment, you know, and not to future trip, not to worry about it, you know, not to feel that anxiety, because I think our society tries to put a lot of fear, you know, into things, like even the word retirement, you know, everything can be differently thought through. But if I stay in the moment, I don't have fear and I don't worry. I have plans, but I'm not making them out of fear.
I have more about the love question, but I think I need to come back to that because in thinking of the end of your life, I would imagine your perspective. Sorry, can I redo that?
Of course.
I just blobbed on the words. Okay, sorry. In thinking of the end of your life, I would imagine your perspectives have changed on dying and death and how you perceive all that. Can you share some comments with me?
Yeah, a lot of my perspective on death and dying is the same. I've had a lot of people pass in my whole life, like close people or close animals, or I've held my son when he passed. I held my mother when she passed. It's not an unknown world. My girlfriend, when I think the first close friend passed, she was hit by a drunk driver, and her ghost came to me when I was 13, and that just opened up the whole world. That's kind of like, that's been like more my journey of this lifetime anyways, like to understand, you know, energy and life after death, and you know, just like, what are we, you know, what is spirit, what is, you know, what does this all mean, what is the value. Right now I'm probably looking at what value do I bring to this life for others, you know, have I served well, am I doing my purpose. So the thing about death, I mean, I'm not afraid of it. I've seen it. It's a beautiful thing, you know. I mean, I've been around it a lot.
Do you think about your own death?
Of course, yeah. And how that would be, you mean?
Just whatever just go ahead, yeah.
One time I was really close to death one time. Well, more than once probably, but this one time was, I couldn't reach my son on the phone, and I was that close to dying. My daughter was with me, but I couldn't reach my son on the phone to say goodbye, and I swear it was like I couldn't go. I just couldn't go because I needed to tell him goodbye, you know, kind of thing. So I guess my hope is to, you know, like the way my mom passed was really ideal because we were all around her and that's what she liked, and I know I would like that as well. I would like not to be alone in my passing, but to have my loved ones with me, if that can work out, you know. It's such a delicate thing. Our culture doesn't really teach us how to deal with death and dying, and it's something I'm very comfortable with. And I don't want to have, you know, if my daughter doesn't want to be there, I don't want her to have to be there, but I want her there, you know, kind of thing, or, you know, same.
If it's possible.
If
yeah.
it's possible, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if she's okay with it, or because I think my son would be fine, you know.
So a lot of people say they're not afraid to die, and they don't think about it. It boggles my mind that people don't think about it because, as you said earlier, it's all around us all the time. So how can you
Not think about
not
it.
think about it, right?
Yeah. One time I was really upset with my life and not happy, and I was driving this road to Boulder, and I was just like, I was done, you know. And it was like, and all of a sudden it was like, this car was coming at me, and I wasn't turning into the lane, but this car was coming at me at, like, I was going like 80, and this guy was going 80, so it was like, you know, it would have been like immediately, and I'm like, whoa, I want to live, you know. And it was really that quick of a choice, and like after that it was just like it slapped me with like, get out of this funky mood you're in, because you've got, you know, my kids were pretty young then, and it was like, oh my god, I can't even go there with my mind. I'm not that depressed or whatever. I need to be here.
Life
So
is
that,
good, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good thing to happen, you know, and she, like, right at that moment, because I was having that sad thought, and then it was like, here's your opportunity, you know, and I'm like, no. So yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that answer.
Don't jiggle.
Don't go changing.
Okay, we're rolling.
If you could give younger people advice on turning 60, what would you say to them?
Wow. I think just to live your life to what your heart beckons. You know, follow your heart, follow your dreams, believe in yourself. Wow. I suppose I do that with my daughter. You know, just trust yourself. You know, it's like, and somehow you want to, like, I want to say how it's not going to be what you think it is. You know, because it's not for me at all. Life's been really interesting, and I can only imagine what, you know, say someone that's got 40 more years to live still, what their life's going to look like. You know, I wouldn't even be able to have a clue what that would look like in 40 years.
Why are we here? What's the meaning of life?
Good question. I even wondered that yesterday. I was wondering that. Good question. I think we're all here to learn lessons. Each lesson is so vital to maybe the spiritual growth. Everybody's lessons are different. I'm pursuing, it's kind of like interests in life. I think our lessons are similar to that. I believe we come in with like a pattern of what we want to do. You know, like last lifetime I might have been really greedy and mean, and so this lifetime I'm really nice. You know, just nice and, you know, give away stuff. So to me it's all about balance. It's kind of the yin yang thing of life. Like, I think, you know, I look at my male, the issues I've had with men, and I think I must have been a really bad male last time, because I sure got treated like crap this lifetime. You know, I kind of like look at karma and, you know, just wonder about those things. What was your question again, though?
Kind of two-part. Why are we here / what's the meaning of
What's
life?
the meaning? So for me, my original, like, wake-up moment was probably like when my girlfriend passed, and I saw her ghost and all. I was like, okay, what's that all about? What is that? So that's pretty much been my journey all this lifetime. I think the peacefulness that's coming from that at this age, it's like there's starting to be no judgment and on myself. You know, I'm not questioning myself. Am I not good enough, or I'm not this? I'm not. You know, like, a lot of my issues are done with. You know, it's like, I am lovable. I am. You know, I've worked through a lot of those, probably, you know, tests of myself that, you know, I passed in my own eyes. You know, so, like, that's where the content at this age comes in. It's a peacefulness. It's like everything I do from now on is like, I got a good base. You know. And you know, it's like I don't have to work so hard at, you know, in my spiritual practice, or, you know, because it's pretty much recognizing the peacefulness of it.
What makes you happy?
Interconnections with people, funny, you know, humor, comedians. What makes me happy? Beautiful sceneries, sunsets, moonrises, stars twinkling. It could be a look, you know. Yeah. A lot of times it's connecting with older people. I think I really have a lot of joy with that connection, because I treat them like my parents that aren't here anymore, you know, so I feel like I miss them dearly, you know, and it's like, I feel like they're here, you know, and it's how I am with other people, you know, it's like, that's the energy that they taught me, you know. I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
The connection kind of thing.
Well,
That solves that problem.
Right.
well, I know.
Okay, Jack. We're rolling.
Men versus women, which one of those do you think fears getting older, has a harder time getting older?
Good question. I can't speak for a man. I don't know what their fears would be, but I would definitely think women have a harder time, only because of you know, physical beauty and issues. Men get away with pretty much everything, you know, in terms of gray hair earlier, tummy rolls. It's just, I don't know that. I guess women, but I don't know how men feels. You know, men go through their midlife crisis as well, you know, with their hot rods or younger babes or whatever.
What do you think when you hear the word old?
I think dignity with and wisdom with some of the older people I've met are just a joy. You know, they're just a wealth of wholeness and, you know, and peacefulness. Of to me, wise. Old means wise, and that's where I think my piece at 60-ish is coming in. You know, it's like, wow, I'm starting to get wise, and feels good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has said that before. That's a really good answer. Everyone has said like infirmed or not being able to take care of themselves, things like that. So I like your answer. Who were you at age 30?
30. Wow. Living in Hawaii, pretty insecure in a lot of ways, even though I was, you know, traveled already to Europe and, you know, moved to 3 different states by then. Wow. 30, I had my first son who passed. So 30 was a hard year. But I think I was just starting to like myself, you know, like who I was, and, you know, still really vibrant but more calmed down than I was at a teenage. 30. Wow.
And who do you think you are now at almost age 60?
A lot of ways the same person, just more, I definitely more self-assured and less worries, you know, more peaceful.
What kinds of things are important to you right now in your life?
Being to work on time, really big hard things, you know, important to me. Seeing my sister pretty often, you know, just like there's not an urgency for a lot of things right now. It's just, I'm really, like I said, in a limbo-ish stage or a cocoon-ish stage, that I'm just sitting and exploring different things. So it's not an urgency. What was the question again?
Yeah, no. What kinds of things are important to you right now?
Important.
Priority, maybe, or not a priority.
I guess I really don't have a lot. You know, I wanted to go motorcycle riding. I did that. It's not really a bucket list. It's like what my body needs to do. Like I really wanted to just watch, because there's something about riding a motorcycle where your troubles are just gone. I don't know. Everything I think about, I do. So it's, you know, everything's important. If I put my mind to it, you know, if I want to, whatever I want to do, it gets done. I mean, to me, a lot of magic's been able to happen lately and quickly because it's just me doing it, and I don't have any interruptions or people telling me not to do it. So I just go and explore whatever I'm wanting to. Yeah.
Do you think about your own death?
I do. Sure. And sometimes I think it's sooner than I could imagine, you know, and then it'll come that soon enough anyway. Sure.
Afraid, not afraid?
Not afraid. Looking forward to it in some ways. I'm like always ready for the next journey, and that's like the next big journey would be that. To actually see what's on the other side and what I feel now I can, you know, talk with ghosts and other people's energy. I feel like it's just what we're made up of, these chemicals, that we don't have that on the other side. The energy's still there, and there's some way, I believe in mediums and psychics, and, so I'm just curious to see what's over there for me. Like when I was with both my son and my mom when they passed, was, there was like an opening up of heavens, and I got to see there, and part of me is like wanting to go there, was like reaching up and wanting to, and it closes like that, but it leaves this peacefulness. So for me to like see what's on that other side is pretty exciting.
If you could give younger people some advice about reaching age 60, what do you think you would say to them?
Don't smoke. To keep healthy, keep your body healthy. If you get hurt, take care of it. Don't keep re-injuring it. Take supplements. Just keep healthy as much as you can.
Any spiritual advice for them, getting older and what?
Yeah, I take my spirituality really personal, and so like I want people to find their peace and their calmness, but it's like I was on a path where I thought everyone needed to be on that path, so I've done that before, where I try to get people to check this out, and it's like I'm pretty. It's whatever you need, if you need a physical, whatever your journey is, I have no idea. It's not my business, so I don't really have anything to say unless people ask,
Do you feel like there's anything, like what's the next phase of your life? What does that look like?
I think deciding, where, get the chickens, get the house, that's the next phase, is to be more calm with a residence, whether I sell my condo or, I don't know.
And buying that house in Fort Collins.
Yeah. That's
There you go.
That's kind of the next step, for that. But yet, by being here, I'm able to I can do whatever I want wherever I am. So it's like nothing inhibits me. I don't need to have that. I don't even, like, what I'm looking at is these little houses that you can actually move them around. They're like on a trailer bed. You can move them around and, and set up wherever you want to go. And that's kind of cool too.
Have life, will travel.
Right.
Okay.
I've looked at doing an RV thing, and parking it somewhere. I don't know. It depends.
One more. Tell me something wonderful about turning 60.
Being alive and healthy to be there, and just see your friends and like you, lifelong friends that are beautiful, and just to see where we're at, where our journey has taken us.
Not afraid to get any older?
Not at all. No. It's going to come quickly, just how quickly the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years went.
Yes. Do you think that we arrived at 60, like, boom, like we were 20, now, boom, we're 60?
Yeah. There was, there's things in between, but, like, not that much,
Exactly.
And time does travel quicker, the older we get.
Yeah.
So it definitely does. It's amazing. Yeah, I do feel like a teenager again. So I'm really excited about that, being my second teens at 60. Like, yeah.
That's a cool way to look at it. Okay. I think I'm good.